Having done many kilometers on my old Ducati Multistrada, traveling, touring around South Africa, and then spent a lot of time on our latest addition to the Route 21 garage, the BMW GS 1250 Adventure, you will note that I really enjoy the adventure bike segment. I enjoy traveling and touring and the biking lifestyle. So I finally got the opportunity to test Moto Guzzi's adventure bike, and the bike I'm talking about is this stunning Moto Guzzi V85 TT behind me here in the evocative edition. And I really would like to share with you why I think this is such a stunning little bike, and it's the best of two worlds. Before we go on our ride, let's have a look at this bike in more detail. The model being the V85 TT. V standing for the traditional Moto Guzzi oil and air-cooled 90-degree V layout. As you can see here, when we go from the front, you actually see it doesn't stick out too far, and the tank just really covers that motor nicely. The 85 stands for the 850cc motor you have over here. The TT is the Italian Tutto-Terrano for all terrain. Now, as mentioned before, traditional Moto Guzzi 90-degree transverse layout motor, very unique and iconic to this brand. And another thing Moto Guzzi has is the shaft drive. And important to note here, this is the only under 1000cc capacity adventure bike to have a shaft drive. Also, if you know anything about off-road riding and adventure riding, if you're going on muddy roads, dirt roads, at the end of the day, the guys with the traditional chain drive will be doing maintenance, cleaning their chain and lubing their chains, where you will be sitting at the pub with the boys and girls reminiscing of the day's ride. Now, this being the evocative, it comes in the two colors, which is the Kalahari Rosso, as it is here, Kalahari Red being pearl instead of just white, and you get the Sahara Giallo, which is yellow over here and on the side panel, but retains the red frame, which just highlights the trellis frame, which is so Italian and really great hand-built bikes. The seat, you will see the low cutout, which makes it really comfortable. You're not on tiptoes. It has this sort of Alcantara feel. Your bum stop here has the Moto Guzzi embroidered into it, and that is all these little attention to detail on a hand-built bike. Stunning. Now, if you're sitting over here, you can see the petrol tank with the motor. Really stunning design. As the sun comes out, you can really see the glitter, and this being pearl. Looking at your TFT display, your cockpit, stunning how that highlights. Real pretty, not overbearing, and really nice. Then going to your controls over here, very simple, good layout, easy rider modes from here. The other side, you have your cruise control, so really proper, well thought out bike. The screen is the smaller screen as standard, but you get many options, bigger screens. Here also, you see the daytime riding light. It actually is the silhouette of the eagle of the Moto Guzzi logo. So really all-round stunning adventure bike. You have your spoked or laced front wheel, chrome spokes, black channels, 19-inch wheel up front, Brembo brakes. Your bash plate at the bottom is standard, and going to the back you have your 17-inch wheel. If you look at your foot pegs, nice comfort with rubber. If you look underneath, for off-road riding and dirt road riding, you have the steel. So everything you need in one package. Now let's jump on the bike and ride. First impressions then, when I sit on the bike with my 6-foot height, both feet are flat on the ground, knees bent slightly. Really comfortable, you feel in control. Sitting on the bike, very neutral position. The handlebars actually come up a little bit over here, and handlebars nice and high. I'm sitting upright, feet are not cramped, the legs, really good position. And this motor, traditional twin motor, giving you all that power with low down torque. And just first impressions is you can commute on this all day, all night. It's not intimidating, there's enough power, torque from low down, you don't have to rev the motor really high, speed bumps. Have to find the right gear, but really nice. Yes, definitely. It's a slim bike, so that's one of the complaints on the bigger adventure bikes. They end up the horsepower race and the massive torque race, but the bikes end up just too big and too bulky to be a comfortable commuter. So with this, the first impression is really, it is an adventure bike, but not intimidating, not too big, not too monstrous. My foot is flat on the floor and I'm very comfortable. Yep, when you roll on, there's enough to get you into trouble in traffic, but not overwhelmingly, such as super bikes would give you. And I think lane splitting is quite comfortable on this bike. The widest part of this bike would be the handlebars, so if you just keep that in mind, you are good to go. As mentioned earlier, the Brembo brakes, for me, very important is stopping power. Sometimes more important than horsepower. You got to stop the thing. Gives you good feel. There's no fade on the brakes, and it's really nice. The TFT display, the dash is very clear. You see all the information you need. Note overbearing, like some of the TFT displays you have nowadays are just all consuming in front. And here you go, you roll on, you very quickly exceed the speed limit. The suspension is stiff, but not too stiff. For this purpose, it is actually plenty comfortable enough. And what I didn't mention earlier is the massive array of accessories you get with these V85. Moto Guzzi has everything from your crash bars, nerf bars, your bigger touring screens, your Moto Guzzi panniers, gear-like locks, the travel, V85 travel that we had a look at in a previous episode, that comes standard with quite a few things, from heated grips to the panniers with a third lock for the top box. And really you can kit this bike out, center stand, you can go to town. So once you start off, and another real pretty execution was the 2021 Centenario colors with the silver, the green and the brown seats, harking back to the 500cc Grand Prix racer V8 that Moto Guzzi done. Very proud heritage of Moto Guzzi racing and all of the like. So really an iconic brand. We have discussed where the name and the logo comes from in previous episodes, and it's just once you get onto this Moto Guzzi brand, you really fall in love with it. There's something about it, there's some passion, there's a mystique, there's that whole doing your own thing your own way. And sometimes even if you think of it, the underdog, but they stay true to what they believe in, and that is that air and oil cooled transverse motor, the shaft drive. When everybody else went their own way, they have stuck to it for many years, and that is just wonderful. The whole concept, very much like BMW is known for their boxer motors, air cooled, Moto Guzzi is known for their transverse layout, V90 degrees. So either love it or hate it, and I must say I really enjoy this. What I mentioned before is that some of the adventure bikes today are really entering that horsepower race and the monster torque curve, and they're just becoming too tall, too bulky, and just not a practical bike for day-to-day use. And that is the first thing I note on this bike. This bike is actually not intimidating in any way, from size, from handling, from weight, from power. It's fantastic. I mean, the 80 horsepower, 80 Newton meter is more than enough to put you in jail, give you speeding fines that you can't afford. But at the same time, totally manageable, controllable. You feel like the boss on this bike. You're in charge. Handles well. As a commuter on the highway now, 120 is the speed limit. I just roll on. We shoot over that mark in a hurry. Have to be careful. And if you look on the handlebar over here, it's your cruise control. So, you know, hands off the handlebars on the highway, 120 km an hour, no problem. This bike runs true, straight, comfortable. I could do this every day to work and back. So, big thumbs up on that. That is where the bigger adventure bikes are missing the plot nowadays, as the practicality from a day to day. Good weight. So this bike, 21 litre tank, being the smaller capacity, motor with a 850cc, the fuel consumption is better, so your range will be right up there. 400 if you ride nicely, you might even get 500 kilometers out of a tank, and just great. 229 I think is the wet weight, which is actually quite light for an adventure bike. The shaft drive, smooth, not noisy, no maintenance. Like I say, at the end of a day riding, whether you're on-road, off-road, mud, dirt, there's no maintenance. You finish your riding, you have your shower and sit at the pub and reminisce of the fun you had of the day. No getting on your hands and knees and cleaning chains and putting chain lube on for the next day. So this is all about fun. And I think the other thing, the charm with this Moto Guzzi is about being different, not riding what everybody else rides. You're different. You're still in this modern day and age. You're riding something that is hand built by passionate artisans in Mondello dell'Ario. It is the original factory where Moto Guzzi started back in 1921. So just, you're different. You're setting yourself apart from the crowd, and you got something that has pedigree and heritage. And I think it'll be easier with some of the other bikes. You really have to keep up with the Joneses and continually upgrade, otherwise you're left behind. With this Moto Guzzi, you actually have a timeless piece of handmade Italian art. And that's what I find with the Italian designed bikes. They just have that timeless design. If we talk about the Ducati 916, that is already 30-year design, but still pretty today. If you look at the Moto Guzzi V7, that was first introduced in 1967, and that model is still running today. So the Italian designers have something, and I think they got it right with the Moto Guzzi V85 TT Totorano adventure bike. Like now, I'm actually not riding adventure off-road, I'm commuting. It's totally comfortable. Up ahead at the traffic light, I think we'll do some lane splitting. Got to test that out too. Gets a bit narrow, but I think this is the bike for the task. Look at this. Unbelievable. Just push our luck a little bit, and off we go. As a commuter, I'm telling you, I think this is one of the best adventure bikes I've used as a commuter. That slim Ducati Multistrada I used to ride for 18 years, that could also do that. You rode it on torque, not horsepower, and with the Ducati twin in that layout was a very, very slim bike. This, you think with a transverse motor, is a wide bike, but it's actually quite compact, and if you look down, it is not that wide, and there's plenty space between my shins and those heads. Really handles superbly. Here we have another traffic light that's out. That's iconic South Africa. I think what we need to do now is just find some off-road trails, take a little bit off-road into the bush, side roads, sand roads, just play a little bit there. But really, thumbs up as a commuter. Let's just see what she does on the rougher stuff. A few more nice facts about this bike is that you can do approximately 150 kilometers on reserve on this fuel tank, which is really great as well. And this stunning TFT display, you actually can have the Bluetooth connectivity, get on your smartphone the navigation and have it displayed on your dash right here. So no need to clamp your iPhone or a navigation and clutter your handlebars. You actually can see it directly on this TFT display. So everything thought of with the V85. The other thing is the stunning rider modes. Simple, you see it down here, you see the road mode, and if I just toggle through, I'm on rain now, and I can just toggle it again and go onto off-road mode. It is just simply operated by my thumb over here, and there you see the off-road mode. Toggle it twice more and I'm back to road mode. Having played with this bike most of today and tried it out on different road surfaces, the first thing where I give this bike a thumbs up, where it surprised me, is the practicality, the everyday use as a commuter. You can really ride. There's no fatigue on this bike. You feel good on it, and you're in control with this standard screen. The wind protection is ample. For touring, however, I do recommend some of the accessories, such as the higher screen. But look at this lane splitting, totally comfortable. This twin motor, torque, low down, really good control. Stunning bike. So not only an adventure bike, also a stunning commuter. And the beauty with Moto Guzzi, you're buying a timeless piece. You're buying a motorcycle that has flair and passion, is hand built, and it's just different to everything else on the road. So if you want to stand out and have the best of both worlds, two bikes in one, a commuter as well as a weekend warrior adventure bike doing off-road trails, this is the bike. I hope you enjoyed this review with us of the stunning Moto Guzzi V85. As you can see, not the biggest capacity motor, but that's the stunning beauty of it. It's a small bike, it's a perfect commuter, but it has everything an adventure bike needs as well. Best of both worlds, you have two bikes for one, and really covers all the bases. Please remember to subscribe, give us a like, and follow us for more.